Hi everybody, I'm Michael, and in today's quick tips, we're going to show you how to properly water your houseplants from large to medium to small. So, you ready to dig in? Let's grow! The first thing you need to do when you're getting ready to water your houseplants is to fill up your container, and if you're using tap water, you want it to sit out for 24 hours to let the chlorine evaporate out. But if you're using distilled water or filtered water, you can water your plants right away. We prefer that you let your water be more tepid, not cold directly from the fridge. If you're getting it from a filtered water inside there, you want it to be room temperature water for your plants. And the next thing before you water your plants is to know your plants. We have a variegated triangle fig here we just adore. It's in a larger container. So it's a larger plant in a larger container, which will need possibly more water, but it all depends on your plant. If you have a very tropical plant that wants a lot of water, you're gonna need to water your plant more. So for all of these here, for example, the triangle fig here in the large container, then the two Hoyas in this medium and small container, we water ours once a week. We found that is the best way to provide the water to them, and they respond well to that. Other plants we've watered more or less, depending on how they are situated in the home. So the next point I want to mention is location, location, location. Plants that are grown closer to a window are going to grow more, and so you're going to need to add some more water. So it's a rule of thumb that the 7 days of these, for example here, but you want to use the 1 knuckle, 2 knuckle method, where you stick your finger into the container, in a large container, you go down two knuckles, and if it comes back and the soil breaks off real easily like this, it's ready to water. If you put your finger in there in a smaller container, you only need to go down about 1 inch, and if it comes back with a lot of soil stuck to your skin and it feels moist, then you know you don't need to water right away. So that's a good guide, because it's always just a rule of thumb. Plants are unique, each one grows at their own rate. And so now that you know if you have your plant growing in the right area and it's growing fast, you may need to water more. And if it's not growing fast, and it's most likely in a medium light area of your home, you may be able to water less. So for the actual watering, which we're going to do now, is you want to water well and you want to water thoroughly. So what I'm doing here with the variegated triangle fig is I'm going all the way around the container. So I'm going to show you. And you want to water really, really well. You don't want to sit there and just water a little bit. You want to water until the water actually pours through the bottom of the container. Now what we've done here, and here's a little trick we'll show you, is that we put leca at the bottom of our container. And since this is in a plastic container, the leca will absorb the water, and will actually, because the container is a little bit larger than the interior container, they will start to provide some humidity up through the edges to help the plant have a little bit more humidity around the immediate area of the plant. And that's a good thing you can do. That's a little trick that we've done, and we do that for a lot of our plants. And another benefit of having the leca at the bottom is that you don't always have to discard of the overflow water. The overflow water can be stale because it pulls through a lot of the fertilizers that you put on your plants, and so you don't want the plant to uptake that back through the roots. But the leca will absorb all that water and just sort of not transmit that back into the plastic container. It'll sit there and it'll just sort of off gas through the sides, which we think that's a kind of cool thing that you can do. Instead of putting a pebble tray, we do that with our leca in our outer containers. So now moving over to our Hoyas, we have the same condition here. We have leca at the base, and when you go ready to water, you water around. Now, some plants don't want water on their leaves. African violets are notorious for not wanting water on their leaves, and there's ways to water from below. But the Hoyas are not so picky in that regard. Oh, I'm sorry, little ficus. I didn't mean to pinch your leaf in there. Sorry, guys. So when you have a lot of leaves real tight like that, just sort of wiggle around them. But you want to water all the way around your plant, because the roots, some roots on one side, especially if you have several cuttings growing in the same container, they may not get the water. So you want to make sure you really move that all the way around and fill it up. Don't be afraid, you know. And then test it to look, and there it's going. Water's pushing through. It's draining through. And now that's thoroughly watered. For a smaller Hoya here, you have the same thing going with the leca in the base. Smaller container. It's not going to need as much as the other plants, obviously, because it's a much smaller container. And this one has a lot of really light growing mix, so we're going to water this one a little bit slower. This interior plants is a little different. You may have seen our video on how to water outdoor potted plant. There the, whoops, spilled over. That happens, that's okay. And outdoor potted plants, you probably want to water twice with a countdown of 10. Here, you don't necessarily need to do that. You know, I spilled a little bit outside the container, but I don't think it's draining out yet, so I'm going to add a little bit more. You want to make sure that you're seeing the water. The water drain through. There we go. So let's drops out a little bit more. So if you do notice any bubbles coming up in your soil here, or if you look up here at the triangle figure, if you notice any bubbles coming up, that's telling you that your soil is very dry and you need to add some more water. Or we like to do a trick where we take chopsticks and we poke through the edges there just gingerly to break up the top surface of the soil, so that you allow that water to permeate through and get to all those roots. Thanks for stopping by, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below. Until the next video, see you later.
If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We post weekly. Thanks.